Yes, welcome back to the Sports Show. Hope you can stay with us a bit longer. Plenty still to come on the show, but time to get to the Southern Footy League as always. The Preds, Craig Warman joins us. Craig, how are you, mate?
Yeah, good, boys. Yeah, really good.
Mate, another interesting round. It's just heating up coming into the finals, isn't
Well, we got last round this weekend, but we saw Porties take on Christie's. Second versus fourth at that stage, and Christie's in a world of pain at the moment.
That was the one you thought was going to be the game. We're going to be a close one.
Yeah, it was a tribe match of the day, the battle of the socks, so to speak. White ribbon day.
41-point winners. Did the margin surprise you?
It did, because at half time, a bit like their game, Christie's game against Noarlunga, up until half time it was a draw.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Third quarter, Christie's kicking with the win, got outscored, and of course, rest is history. Porties kicked 7 in the last, won it easy.
Got some forward problems. Christie's?
Yes, very much so.
Yeah. Is this because of injury or is it because personnel?
Well, a bit of both, bit of lack of form, bit of injury. Hopefully they get them back in a hurry because they're fast running out of time.
Mate, team's not running out of time. Flagstaff Hill, mate, they're just in devastating form at the moment, aren't they? I mean, they're way too strong for Ordinga, and we thought that'd be the case. But, gee, they're in blistering form.
They are, and they're only going to get stronger with a couple of players coming back. Sam Smith played his first game back for a month. Sammy Tharrelson from Adelaide comes back to bolster them for the finals, and they're going to take a power beating.
Doesn't sound like they need much bolstering, does it?
I
Really,
think they've
the
done
flaggies.
that anyway. Well, Noarlunga are not too far off the mark, mate. They flexed their muscles against Happy Valley. Big 67-point win for them. So the teams up the top end are starting to show some real good form leading into the finals.
Very much so, and Shuey's under Barry Pillmore, really good coach. A lot of premierships under his belt, so he knows how to get a side prime leading into what, again, could be a replay of last year's grand final.
And Ranelli United actually had us scored.
Ranelli United?
Why did we become Ranelli United?
Oh, sorry.
I said we'd bounce back.
Because you didn't kick a goal last week.
Well, they had plenty to kick this week.
But
mate, they laid low. They didn't kick one for 17 minutes. They just slow dogged it. Don't you worry about Ranelli, mate. They'll be all right. Billy's team's going to be all right.
Hey, I'm happy, but they...
happy. That's a big statement.
Get on you, Ben.
On Morphy's, that's a pretty good win. Morphet Vale anyway, regardless, because they needed to do it. They
did. And again... Ranella, they'll get a couple of players back, a couple of their big players, and they'll be around the mark. The one in the top 5 that I'm a little bit fearful of, as I said, is Christie's. They're a bit of a worry at the moment.
Let's have a look at this. Mate, multicultural round, of course, this weekend.
Yes.
What's planned for the Southern Footy League?
Yeah, we've got a big day planned at Morphet Vale. Porties could lock down third position with a victory over Morphet Vale, because Christie's come up against Flaggies, and you can't see them winning that one.
At Christie's?
Yeah, it is at Christie's, but Flaggies don't mind the big open spaces of Bice Oval, so you would suggest Flaggies to win that one. Multicultural round, we've got a new Muslim community that's starting up down our way, and they've all been invited down to the Morphet Vale Footy Club to come and participate, see what the club's like, etc., because there's a whole group of people that want to become involved in our football.
In the footy?
Mate, it's really interesting over the last couple of weeks because there's been that political uproar going on about that. I spent some time with Basher Hurley the last couple of years, mate. You would not meet a higher quality class person than Basher. They need to speak to him before they start making up any other stuff in politics to find out what they're really sprouting about.
Oh, exactly right.
It's just ridiculous.
And we've had some really good dialogue with the people down there. And again, that's part of what we're trying to do, to integrate them into our community, not just to have them in the community, but to integrate us in with the rest of us.
So when you say they're invited down, that community is invited down for the game, how do you invite them? How do you give them tickets? Do you?
Yes, yep.
Oh, okay.
So they'll just roll up to the game with their tickets. We've organised a multicultural afternoon tea where their ladies love to cook, so they're going to bring some of their pastries and whatever's down for the half-time, because normally at half-time we get the two clubs involved in the game, go in, have a bite to eat and a drink. So it's going to be really good.
Yeah, it can't be a better way to educate people, can they, mate? You touched on Aldinga sitting in 9th, Ranella in 5th at Aldinga. What are you thinking?
Brunella should win that one and set themselves up nicely for a run at the final the week after.
Christie's Beach sitting third, Flagstaff Hill motoring, mate. I just can't.
Christie's won't beat Flaggies. They beat them in the first round, but that's when everybody was up and running and whatever. But Flaggies will get them back this week.
Morphe's, Porties.
Porties, this is a big game for Porties. They beat Christie's. They're set level with Christie's on points at the moment, so Porties could lock down third spot and a double chance, which is what they'd be going for in regards to that.
Well, what about, mate,
game.
Norlunga up against Cove? Has the hoodoo been lifted? Would you say that it's been lifted?
No.
No.
In a simple word, no. But you look at Norlunga, they're as strong as Flaggies on their day, and to play them at home, it's going to take a power of beating to knock off the shoe down there, and I don't think Cove have got the ammunition at the moment to do that.
Well, mate, well done on multicultural round, and fantastic getting another community down there to get educated, mate. That's really important. Along the journey, and Baz touched on it, I mean, it's easy to say we've invited them down, but you can't say, oh, well, Baz, come on down. You must speak with heads of the community to get it organised.
Yeah, we did.
How difficult to reach out and start that?
No, not difficult at all. They when they came into our community with the help of Katrine Hilliard, the local MP down there, we went and had a coffee with the priest and everybody in that inner sanctum of the Muslim community down there. They want to be part of us. So, and the only way to do it is to come along and see. And
get involved. No, well done, mate. Time for us to go. We need to get over to Bridget for the sporting news. Bridget, what have you got for us?
Thanks, guys. Hi, it's Bridget filling in for Ash this week. I've got this week's sport. Huge news out of the Australian Basketball League. Adelaide Bite are signing former MVP and three-time league champion Aaron Whitefield. The 21-year-old has represented Australia over numerous times on the international stage, most recently in the World Basketball Classic. The outfielder is considered one of the best defensive players in the country. Bite will be showing off their new recruit when they face his old side, the Brisbane Bandits, later this year. It looks as though both South Australian AFL teams will miss out on the finals this year, following Port Adelaide's loss to Collingwood over the weekend. The Power take on the Bombers tonight, but will also need some other results to go their way if they want to make an appearance in September. After a tight win over North Melbourne last weekend, the Crows will finish their season by travelling to Victoria to face the Blues. It's not all bad news for South Australian footy, with Crows rookie Tom Doedee looking to be the front runner for Rising Star after a stellar debut season. The SA Bowls Super League is going down to the wire after some massive games in round 5 and 6. Led by Ashley Halls, the Hyson Comets topped the ladder after a tight win over the Central Chargers. The South Eastern Spartans are right on their tails after guaranteeing themselves a finals berth with a win over the Mallee Pirates. The 7th and final round of the tournament will be played tonight, determining the final standing for the ladder. Adelaide Adrenaline's season is officially over, following losses to the Newcastle North Stars and the Sydney Bears. Nathaniel Benson and Sebastian Anderson were influential as per usual, but couldn't get their side over the line. The team will regroup and soon begin their pre-season for next year's campaign. Basketball SA's Premier League finals have wrapped up for another year, with the Southern Tigers and North Adelaide taking out both the men and women's titles. The Tigers claimed their second premiership in 3 years with a hard-fought victory over Forestville, edging out the Eagles by 6 points at Titanium Arena. Calvin Turnage was the game's clear MVP after an impressive double-double that eventually led his team to victory. North Adelaide will put on an impressive performance against the Eagles to claim the women's title and close out the season undefeated. 45-year-old basketball great Jo Hill claimed the MVP award in what would be her last game of her decorated career. South Australia's Tom Sedaris has proudly represented the state in the Sunshine Coast half marathon last weekend. Sedaris completed the marathon in 1 hour and 27 minutes, one of the best times among the 1,800 competitors. His time falls just a minute outside of his own Australian record set on the Gold Coast in 2016. That's all from me. See you next week.